Here's why people don't think hockey is a real sport. Triggered. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying, I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. I had a friend in high school who played basketball. He told everyone in class that hockey was a joke and that all you had to do was shoot a little rubber thing at the net. We had a class trip later in the year to go skating. He fell on his ass as soon as he stepped out on the ice and was basically crawling around the entire time. I went up and offered him a stick and a puck and told him it should be easy for him. It was hilarious. What goes around comes around. This was in Canada, by the way, so nearly everyone can skate, and he was so embarrassed the whole time. If he hadn't said that, I would have helped him out and given him tips. Too bad for him. That story inspired me to make this video, because many people think hockey is too easy or not a real sport. So may I present you 10 reasons why hockey is in fact the best sport in the world. Number 1. Played on a giant sheet of ice. Football, basketball, baseball, what do they all have in common? They're played on solid ground, not slippery sheet of ice. The athletes that play those sports wear shoes, not sharp blades of steel on the bottom of their feet. I'm not saying basketball, baseball, and football players aren't serious athletes. I'm just saying they're not as talented as hockey players. Hockey players have to combine all that speed and agility on top of managing to stay upright on a large ice cube. If that's not skill, I don't know what is. Then again, they're only human, sometimes they fall down too. Number 2, the players can control the game. In other major sports, the majority of teams are usually decided by the referees or umpires. In hockey, it is to a certain extent, but the players definitely have the ability to control the game on a different level. They can speed it up, slow it down, or shake things up with big hits or fights. In this sport, the athletes truly have control of the game, which makes it more entertaining to watch. Number 3, hockey is a team sport. Some sports, even though they're considered team sports, are oftentimes monopolized by an individual athlete. Football has quarterbacks, baseball has pitchers, and hockey has a team. Although it's possible for one hockey player to be the superstar of the team, the sport hockey is still the best team sport. In hockey, being a strong team is one of the most important factors in being successful. A strong team bond is always clear on the ice. Gary A. Vasquez, USA Today Sports. Everybody needs to be on the same page if things are to work in this sport, and that makes it all the better. After all, there is no I in hockey. Number 4, the speed. No other sport even comes close to hockey in terms of speed. Everything about this sport is fast-paced. The slap shots, the game pace, the players, every other sport moves at a glacial pace in comparison to this one. Something is always happening, and if you blink, chances are you'll miss it. Constant action is one of the many reasons hockey is the greatest sport on the planet. Number 5, the insane playoff format. You can argue every other point on this list, except 6, that's a fact too. But you can't argue that NHL playoffs are, without a doubt, the most grueling of all major sports. In order to become a champion in this league, you must survive 4 rounds of grueling, back-breaking play, on top of the 7 months of the brutal regular season games that have already been completed. There's no stopping nor breaks for these boys, only 28 games to prove that you deserve Lord Stanley. Good luck finding another sport that requires that much work and devotion to win the title. Number 6, hockey players are warriors. There's no doubt about it, hockey players are the toughest athletes out there. They get blasted in the face with a puck and keep playing. They break bones on the ice, but finish the shift. There's nothing that can stop them. Rich Peverley literally died for a few seconds on the ice after being revived, asked to be put back into the game. Classic hockey player. Basketball players sit out for the season with ingrown fingernails. Baseball players refuse to play because of blisters. Hockey players asked to play more after having their faces stitched back together. If that's not a warrior, I don't know what is. Number 7, the lingo. If you've ever spoken to a hockey player, you know very well how hilarious hockey lingo is. From beauty to bender, hockey has a language of its own. No other sport requires a dictionary to decode what's happening. The hockey jargon makes things a bit complicated sometimes, but it also adds to the greatness of the sport. If you feel the desire to learn how to speak like a hockey player, read up on the Ultimate Hockey Dictionary here. Number 8, goal celebrations. In most sports, scoring requires some sort of celebration. However, in hockey, scoring means a celly is coming, and that is much more than your average celebration. That's an all-out spin in circles, flail around celebration of awesomeness, and the goal that was just put in the net. Not every goal requires a celly, but when they happen, it's definitely worth watching. Number 9, the traditions and superstitions. From playoff beards to pregame rituals, hockey is a sport bursting with traditions and superstitions. Other sports have their customs, but none come close to hockey. These men grow facial hair for good luck or insist on eating the exact same meal before every game. Some guys get really strange with their superstitions. Max Talbot boxes with Marc-Andre Fleury before every game, while Carl Ausner used to tap his stick 88 times and outline the Canadian maple leaf during the national anthem. Hall of Fame goaltender Glenn Hall used to vomit before every game, believing he'd lose unless he lost his lunch before taking the ice. Although they're odd, these superstitions and bizarre traditions set hockey apart from all else. Number 10. Hockey players are nice. This may be a generalization, but hockey players seem to be the nicest of professional athletes. They may act tough on the ice, but they're giant teddy bears off the ice. It's common to hear of players from across the league performing little acts of kindness. Last year, a group of Boston Bruins players dressed up as characters from Disney's Frozen and visited the Boston Children's Hospital. The Colorado Avalanche's Matt Duchene purchased a jersey for an 11-year-old girl who was bullied at school. Charlie Coyle of the Minnesota Wild made a young boy's day by just waving at him during warm-ups, both on and off the ice. Hockey players make the sport the greatest of them all. If you didn't believe it before, you should now. Hockey is the greatest sport on earth. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.